Hey folks, last week we had Ahmed Elsakaan from the tRPC core team come by and show us how to use tRPC and React Query with NX. So because that live stream was rather long and we go into some discussion that meanders a bit, I went ahead and edited down the live stream to a more condensed version that just goes through all the steps to create our little to-do app. So without further ado, here is me and Ahmad creating a to-do app with NX and tRPC because we wanted to make a to-do app today. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and call the generator that we created. That's going to go out and create my whole stack. After running that generator, we see this cluster of our to-do applications that we've set up, like a tRPC client. I think this is the one we'll actually end up discarding because we'll just go ahead and use the thing from the tRPC / React Query package, I think.
Yeah, I would wrap it around React Query.
Yeah, and we'll just do that right inside of the to-do web app, so we don't need this extra node. But the server here is nice because this is just going to be where we'll create like that router, the server-side router, and that's where like we'll essentially define all of these things. And the server then, this node right here, this is just a node to like wrap that tRPC server in an Express server. And now that we've created the application, the other piece that we can do is we can just kind of serve it all together. And that's, I don't know, it's something we can do. So like, I haven't done anything to this project essentially before the stream, aside from just, doing what we had just seen. And now I have, I believe, if I go to localhost 3000 in my browser, we can see we have our just sample to-do app. We can see we're actually getting a request here to populate this message here, welcome to to-do. So we're kind of just set up and ready to go out of the gate. I think I can open up like my app.tsx file and open up here. I think this is going to be like an index inside of the server, and we can see, hopefully this looks like that homepage a little bit. This is what we were going for, where I can change something here and immediately get that response, hey, you spelled this wrong, buddy. We don't need the welcome message anymore, obviously.
What I would do is actually have a separate to-dos router that then gets merged into this tRPC router. We'd make like a new file.
And inside of here, we'll call this the
to-dos router.
To-dos router. Sounds good.
Yeah, let's, I guess, make an empty array. I guess we won't do like a database implementation.
Yeah, we're coding up our own database. Do we want to do an interface for the to-do right now as well?
Yeah. I would do like an interface for a to-do. So probably would have ID, title, and completed or not.
D title completed. Copilot coming in like a champ. Let's make sure we export that too.
Yep. And then we'd set the to-dos to be an array of the to-do interface. Like the top.
Like so. Cool.
So now we can make export const to-do router and not create after that. That's one is no. So in the index you'd probably have tRPC in it, right? Yeah, the T, it's the tRPC router, like t.router. Also a good I guess practice is to actually have a tRPC.ts file which initializes that T instance and exports the tRPC router constant, for example.
Gotcha. So we should essentially export this and move it inside of like a tRPC RTS file.
That would be like the common instance of tRPC that gets used there, right?
Oops.
Yep.
I guess I didn't copy it. Export tRPC. Looks good. Now
Yeah, here we don't need the init tRPC at all.
Yeah, we could get rid of
Yeah,
a bunch of this
basically.
stuff, I guess.
Yeah, we
Just
just
want
need
to
to
import that now from the file.
Yep.
Cool.
Mhm.
Going back to the to-dos router, though. Well, actually, maybe coming back up here. So the idea here would be, now that we have the to-dos router, I guess let's finish creating this first. So this would be
t.router.
Router. Sure, we import e.
Let's remove everything after the router function because that's not correct. It's an object inside the router.
Oh, I see.
You know, like it's a function that you run, but inside of it, then yeah, like that basically.
Okay. You call it with a object literal, and here's where we would start to put in the got it. Cool.
Yep.
So I guess, do we start with like just getting the to-do list? Would that be?
Yeah.
Okay. So now what would you name this? I think I named it like to-do list when I was running through things initially.
So I typically name stuff by kind of their operation. So get, update, delete, and then whatever it is. So for example,
so like the HTTP verbs almost. Yeah.
Yeah, but I would do it like get all to-dos. Be kind of like more self-explanatory. But yeah, get all to-dos, it would be t.procedure. And then .input. We don't need an input actually in this one.
Yeah, if we're just getting everything, do we just go right to a query?
Yeah, so query, and then that would take a function.
And I guess this would just return our to-dos, right?
Yeah.
Basically. Part of me is wondering, well, maybe out of just me being a nerd, I kind of want to do this instead, right? So where I have like an indexed object, so we can do a constant time lookup somewhere down the line, because I think we're probably going to want to do that. Maybe, I don't know. And then right now our to-dos, so this is now just returning the object, but if I wanted to instead do the array, I could do like object.values on to-dos, right? Cool. That looks good.
And then the next one would be adding a to-do.
Okay, so you'd call that add to-do?
Yeah.
Cool. We'll do LT, and here we definitely do need an input, right?
Yeah, we do need an input, which is z.object, which is...
I wonder if I have Zod installed right now, actually. Oh yeah, it looks like it. Does that come in with tRPC?
No, you do need to install it, but we do recommend using it. You can use other validation libraries, like I think there are other ones, but we do recommend using Zod.
We want to use a Zod object, right?
Yeah, dot object. For the adding, we'd probably do need the title. So title would be z.string.
Right.
And then I think that's all we need actually for making a to-do. So we can then use the dot mutation.
Yeah.
And we can get the input as a parameter of the function. Open that up. So what? Okay. Copilot does it, but does it do it right?
Yeah, that's interesting. It wants to give us a random.
Weird.
Let's make a little ID counter up here in our little makeshift database that exists in these two lines.
It should be able to get it from the length, right?
Oh, I guess so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's do that. Whoops. Bad key binding there. So we'll say constant ID equals, I guess we'll do like object dot values of our to-dos. Oh. Cool. And then we'll just say, I think it knows where we're going from here.
Do we push or is that fine?
Well, it's a object literal now, so we just place it in. because I did my premature optimization. Yeah. And we obviously wanted to, initially when we created it, wants to be false, right? So
it wants to be false.
We've done our mutation. Do we want to return anything? I think when we were labbing this out, I returned the item that we just created.
If you do not want to make another network call to get the updated to-do list after you make the mutation, you can then just return the added to-do from the mutation and manually add it into the cache.
Right. Yeah. That let's go with that. So, and we'll make sure we do similar things with all of our other procedures here, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool. We got our added. What other? I guess maybe can we just like stub out what the rest of these we'd want to make?
Well, we'd want the toggling completed, like toggling it true or false.
Yeah.
Then deleting it.
Deleting it. Anything else we need? Let me see if I got my lab here on the other one. I guess I had two different methods, one for complete and one for mark incomplete. Toggle kind of manages both of those, but what I had in mind was I was always thinking, hey, this is going to be a multi-user to-do app. So I didn't like toggle because then you might have a place where clients are out of sync, and toggling one, you may think you're completing it when actually you're turning it off if you do it that way. But let's leave it at toggle because I've already been called out for premature optimizations. So we'll just start here. So we'll say, yeah, it's doing pretty good. Look at that. So nose, let's just watch Copilot. There we go. Yep. Solid. I think that works actually. Oh, this is going to give us a problem actually with the if we can delete things. I don't think this is an optimization. I think this is a legitimate bug. Where if we delete things like this, we're going to run into problems with our way of getting an ID. So I think maybe we go back to my original idea, which was let's just have a pointer or a counter. So yeah, let's say let ID equals 0, and then we'll do like you just get rid of this, and guess somewhere in here we do like an oof. Guess we can do it over here. We're not going to have a 0th ID, and I'm okay with that. What doesn't it like about here?
Yeah, because of the number.
Yep. Is this how the cool kids do it now?
To be honest, when I did it, I did it just as like an object to arrays. One is like not completed, and the other one is completed to-dos.
Oh, interesting.
So I had like a section basically of like just an array of the normal to-dos that are still not completed, and then when you do complete a to-do, it would then just take it into the completed array.
Yeah, it makes sense. Cool. Well, I think we've got our API. That was easy enough. It's solid enough. So we do need to still, in our index right now, we just have this router. And you're saying I can just take, what would I do? Call it to-dos, and then I'd import the to-do router?
Yep, that's it.
That's it? That's nice, because that's what I assumed it would be. So, and I had no idea. So I think that's a side of a good API, is when I assume this is the way it's going to work, and it turns out to be true. Cool. Well, API done. Do we want to go over to our React app now?
So I think the first step would be to actually integrate React Query.
The first step to do is just get rid of my tRPC clients that I made and get rid of this useless use effect now.
Yeah, so we'll need to install the tRPC React Query package and also TanStack React Query.
Okay.
So I guess it's...
Do I have those already? Looks like it, yeah.
Yep. Okay. I would say let's make a new file actually, just to for setting things up.
We want it just here in the web app.
Yeah, that seems fine. Let's just call it tRPC.ts.
Okay.
And then we can import the create tRPC React from React query, the package create tRPC React. Yep.
Cool.
And then we will need to import the app, like our tRPC router type from the server.
Okay. What did we call that now?
It's tRPC router.
Okay. tRPC router. There we go. What do we call this workspace? I think we called it NXTRPC demo from the server. So, okay.
And then we can just export const tRPC equals tRPC React. It's
tRPC FML.
Yeah, and then we can need to also provide the type of the tRPC router before we add the function code.
I think we called this the to-do tRPC router. Is that right? So that
wait, is it?
I think it was actually. Yeah.
Perfect.
Maybe unfortunately, I think that was my generator that did that initially. But let's go back to here.
That's
create tRPC React. Okay, so that's our tRPC instance now.
So now we can go back to the app.tsx file. Let's make the app as terms of kind of like a provider's container for our child components. So just delete the use state, and we can then we need two states actually. So we're gonna need a query client, so const and then array. It's
so
only
a query client.
Query client, yeah. No, it's only query client. You don't need the second one.
Yeah, but it is still in an array.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Because you need to get the first item. Query client does come from 10 stack.
Cool.
And then you're gonna make another use state also the same way, but it's gonna be inside the use state a function that returns tRPC.create client.
Okay. And that's the one we imported from that other file, create client.
Yeah, which is a function, and then we can provide to it some configuration options. So for example, there is an option of links. Links is an array.
This is where we do the HTTP batch link. So this is another piece I kind of accepted blindly, but I imagine what's happening here is this is supporting a way of if there was like some operation that's going to cause multiple queries to happen at the same time, it's going to send them as a batch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it will send only one request basically.
I hate when I mismatch parens, but that looks good. And I imagine we're going to call this like, do we just call this the tRPC client or?
Yeah, tRPC client.
Okay. So I noticed now we're going to want to, like you said, kind of set up our provider stack. I guess that starts with a tRPC provider probably.
Yes, that would be the case. And
look at Copilot, man. It's just plowing through.
And then the query client provider inside of that.
Query client
provider.
There it is. And then I guess this needs a client. And kill that one. And then, all right, here's where I did something weird. But here's where I guess we could go and start like making our to-do list inside of this, right?
Yeah. Okay. We can make like components now and then just use them in there.
So we want to do like a add to-do form?
Yeah,
I guess we'll do it like this. A to-do form.
Okay.
Default. And I guess here we do something like form.
Yep. And then an input and a button.
Cool.
Good.
And then
So I guess
yeah, go ahead.
we need to actually get the value of the input in a state. So we're gonna need to do that for state to kind of like provide it for the mutations. So let's do right there. Well,
It's good.
and
Cool.
and then we can do a value and on change on the input using the state. So value would be on change.
Is that on change or was that on value change?
On change.
Okay.
Yep. And then get the E event, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And just set that like so.
I mean, it did with the value as well, which is, I guess, all right. But you're gonna need to then delete the line down, yeah, below, yeah. Delete the entire line basically.
Yeah,
that
gotcha.
that seems good.
Sometimes TSX gets weird like that, man. All the braces and stuff. But
Copilot sometimes adds too much.
Yeah. That's all right. It gives us enough value. I think that makes it all right.
Yeah.
So cool. On this one now, I guess we'll always have the value here. This will always reflect it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we need that actually, right? But
which one?
Line 12. I don't know. It's weird. I haven't like worked with raw forms in a while with React, so I don't know. I guess this would probably work.
So, yeah.
So now I guess we want to do like an on submit on the form.
Yeah.
Let's go there.
So on submit, let's I guess just provide to it a function, and we can declare the function above the return, or we can do it here. If you'd like to kind of separate things out.
Gotcha. Like you're talking about, like do a function up here for
like above the return of the JSX.
Like right here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And this would called like handle submit.
Yep.
Okay.
And then we can just provide it as the value for that prop. So like the handle submit, we can provide it for the on submit on the form element.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
On submit, we can just say that is here. Gotcha.
Yep, that's that. So now we can actually bring in the mutation from tRPC. So we can do, I guess, below the use state. Yep, we can do const and then curly brackets. It will destructure out of it. There will be mutate. It's not an array, it's an object, yeah. And it's going to be the tRPC. Yep, that one that we made. To-dos, tRPC.todos.
To-dos.
.add to-do. And then .use mutation.
Gotcha.
So yeah, let's delete everything after that. For that, we can then use now the mutate function. So inside the handle submit, we can just call it. And then after that, I guess just reset the state to be an empty string.
Okay. So
yeah, because like you're gonna add a to-do, so you don't want the value of the input to stay the same after you've done that.
Yeah, makes sense. So inside of the mutate function here, I guess we just have to send the title is going to match.
Yeah, which is the state.
Gotcha. Title.
New to the name. And you can see how everything is just being auto-completed for you immediately.
Yeah. That's very nice.
Very cool. Yeah.
One thing I want to do here.
We do also have more errors and loading states on that object as well that you can get.
Yeah, because I guess what I was doing. What was I doing here? Is there like what else is on this?
Loading.
Yeah. And is there like a on success or something here?
On success would be a configuration option for the on use mutation function.
Okay.
Yeah, so inside the use mutation call for the function, you can provide an object, and that can have on success, on error.
I see. Can we hit the can you show how to invalidate the cache first? How would you do that?
So we have like a tRPC use context hook that would get you like a bunch of utility functions. So we can actually call that I guess above the use state or something like that.
Okay. So
It's typically called utils
okay.
equals tRPC.use context.
Context.
Yep. And inside the on success now we can just call utils.todos. Yep.
Okay. So this is nested through the router as well, right?
Yeah. So and then get all todos dot invalidate.
Okay. And we could have also, I guess, invalidated the whole router, it looked like, from the API as well.
Yeah, you could.
Okay.
And
is that going to invalidate all queries for inside of that router?
So anywhere that query is being used, basically it will be invalidated, and it will be another network call will be fetched to then get a more updated version of the data, and just putting it in the cache, and then wherever that query will be called, they will get all the same data.
Yeah, makes sense. All right.
Well, so yeah, and the other way would be to manually then set the cache. We can get whatever the mutation returns from the on success function, as a parameter.
Okay, so this would be like the turn val. I guess let's just call this the to-do item.
Yeah, we can do that. For us to do that, then we can just again call utils.todos get all to-dos.
To-dos, get all to-dos.
Yep. And we can do the set data function.
Okay.
So the set data, it will, like in the function for it, it will bring you whatever is in the cache for that query. So your basically current data, and then you can manipulate that.
Yeah. What's this? Just looking at the IntelliSense I have on screen, what's the first parameter here? What's that input? Am I missing?
Well, the input, basically in normal React query, you need to like provide a query key. But for us, we do that basically automatically because we do know the names of the queries and stuff like that. So most like at all times you just provide undefined for it.
Gotcha.
Because if you see the type is void or undefined, like
I was like, what? Void or undefined? You're giving me some interesting choices here. and then I guess this callback is like based on the old the original data.
Whatever you return in that function becomes the new cache.
This is what we're going to set for. Got it. Okay. So I guess what we want to do is like
we go by the
spread the old and put the new to do item in. What is this? What is it not like about this?
Of the way we did the
no.
I think it's because of the way our to dos are as a type. I think they're record, right?
I don't think so. I think we returned it as a to-do array. Yeah, it looks like it. I think I just missed a pipe. Yeah, because it was old is potentially undefined. So you can't spread that.
Actually, you can avoid that by just having an if there is no cache, then just return early.
Oh, because that's the cache, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do that instead. So we'll say if no old return
just again
like that,
or literally just So actually, yeah, you could do that, but yeah.
I guess that works. I don't know. I guess I don't understand the cache enough. Like, why would it ever be undefined? I guess if we never even tried to
query.
get a query, yeah.
Yeah.
So it would just be like a weird state. So you were saying maybe just return.
Yeah.
Nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. Like prematurely return. Yeah.
Yeah. That's weird.
Sure,
I don't I don't understand the life cycles of the React query hook enough, but I would think you'd want to at least do this, because then like in that case, you're going to miss that to do item, right? Because all this is coming back from the onSuccess hook of the mutation. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that is true. I think you have a point there.
Yeah. Okay. But either way, I think we've got a working form now.
We just need it in the app.
Yeah. So you, with what you were thinking, you wanted to put like the add to the do form here. Maybe why would it do it like that? And then we do like over here. This is where we put the list. Is that what you were thinking? Okay, let's do that. So I guess we need to make a list next. Let me just check.
Yeah, let's see.
Is this
you
the server?
Saved that. You haven't saved
the
app file.
Thank you.
There is.
So there's, hey, no one needs styles on a live stream, right?
Yeah, nice style.
Let's style it. Let's go. Send it. All right. So that looks good. So we want to do like a list next, huh? So
yeah, we did.
To-do list, TSX. All right. Export, default. Function, to-do list. Okay. Return. And I guess we want to do like a UL kind of deal.
Yeah. Actually, let me show you a cool part of tRPC as well. So for this component, we're gonna kind of expect some props. For each to-do item, we're gonna need like a checkbox to toggle it, and then to actually display the text for the to-do. So we can actually just make a to-do item component that would then take props of what the to-do is. And tRPC actually provides a way to get whatever the return type of a query or a mutation, and then have that as your prop types.
Oh yeah.
So so you can do that.
Well, I was going to do like a to-do item component just down below. Is that what you were thinking? And then because maybe I'm not following you on how that prop's going to look.
But then it's gonna need the completed prop and the title from our remember. So for that we can do. Let's make above the component like a type.
Okay.
So type to do item props.
To do item props.
It would be equals. We have a utility function in tRPC called infer router outputs.
Okay. So this was tRPC router, and that was this one.
And then you close it, and then that one. There you go. And if you open it,
I'm a little like, what just happened right now? But it's all right. Okay. Got it. There's a bunch of nonsense after that, but yeah, okay. It gives me my props for the item, essentially.
Yeah. So now your props are always in sync with your data types that comes out of the backend.
Gotcha. So now I can say, so this to do item component, we can just use like that. Yep. So I guess the things we need all of it.
ID actually.
Okay. I was thinking maybe would we not use that for like the key? I guess we do that up top. Yeah, that makes sense.
You need the ID for the completed the toggling mutation.
Oh yeah.
Inside the to do item.
Yeah, makes sense. So okay, we just structure it all. That's fine.
And then I guess now we can just render like a div with with a checkbox. Yeah. And
Yeah.
apply with box inside of it, and then the title.
Label, like that. And let's give this one, maybe just give this like an ID.
Okay.
Checkbox. Yeah, see, we're using the ID all over.
Yeah.
We'll use this in the 4. Just accessibility, I guess.
By the way, I would change from checked to default checked for the problem.
Right here.
Otherwise it errors out because he says like the checked one should be like a state if it's like that. Anyways, now we can make the mutation for deleting the ToDo.
Gotcha. So you're thinking like a button following this? Okay.
Yeah.
Button, remove. I guess let's call it delete. Remove sounds too soft. We want to be assertive with our deletion. And then on click, I was going back. I don't know if everyone noticed that, but if there's Angular folks in chat, they would have noticed I was trying to do like an Angular binding on that on click. Yeah, I know. Okay, so over here now we want to use the mutate as well.
Yeah,
so do we bring in the use mutate hook?
Yeah, we're gonna have 2 mutations, one for toggling the checkbox.
Okay, and one for deleting.
For deleting, yeah. So let's do the delete first because that would be simpler.
Okay, so is it like so?
So it's an object.
Okay. And this would not be delete. This would be mutate.
We can
delete.
Yeah. And then
Copilot had it. There it is. I guess we need to.
Yeah.
Did I do this wrong? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good point. Good point, VS Code. Thank you.
Delete. Doesn't delete the checkbox, does it?
Yeah. Okay. Fair point. Fair enough. I guess my brain was thinking it would, right? Okay.
Yeah. Then so that should work.
Okay. But also, yeah, go ahead.
We need now to update the cache again, so we can do it in the on success.
Gotcha. This looks familiar, huh? So this would be new item.
Or no, it's not new.
It's not new. I guess this would be. Oh yeah, this is just nothing, right?
Yeah. No, the delete would still return the deleted item.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
I think that's the way that we did it in the router. So we just need to basically find with the key with the ID, and then in that array of our cache, and just delete that.
Gotcha. So we still need to use like the utils. Where do the utils come from? Do I have to destructure that out?
You have to call the hook inside the ToDo item component.
I see. Const utils equals and tRPC use context.
Yep.
Cool. So utils dot to-dos, get all utils, set data, and let's just close that.
Basically just filtering out the to-do with the ID. So I'll literally just
makes sense. New to-dos equals old. That's a lot nicer.
And then just return that.
Yeah. Let's
also all this on like the thing. Oh yeah, you can just do that.
Yeah. That right? That looks good.
Yeah, that looks good.
We got this. Do you want to just copy and paste it to do like the same thing, but for I guess this would be toggling now?
Yeah, for the check. So we can just on click on the input and mutate the toggling one.
Yeah, so we'll just rename this to toggle.
Yep.
And this one, toggle complete.
Yep.
And this one, new item. I think we need to do this inside of set data, right? Because
yeah.
So,
there is also functionality called get data if you just want to get some data for the cache.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that makes sense. It's sort of like the use state hook, just
Basically.
slightly different.
How is it? This thing.
What's that?
If you do backspace and then tab again, Copilot would resuggest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How is it doing it? Let's see. Wait, it's map. Okay.
Okay. I would not have thought to do it that way, but yeah, that works.
Yeah, that works.
We've got our toggle now, so we want to just do this on, I guess this would be on change on the input. Yeah.
On click actually.
On click, sure.
Whenever the checkbox is clicked.
Click.
Equals. We forgot the equals before the curly brackets.
Thank you.
Maybe that's an Angular thing.
No, that was just maybe a dumb thing. I guess we could just do toggle at this point, yeah?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and then you can just provide the ID. But you're going to need to actually call it to provide the ID in it. So
yeah
I don't know what it is.
So toggle and give it the ID.
And now we can, I guess, use the to-do item in the to-do list, but we need now to query all the to-dos.
Yeah. So is this constant? We would just structure out like a query out of it.
Yeah. So you're gonna you can have the data out of that. It's data, not query.
I see. Data
equals tRPC. Then dot use. Yep.
It was good in there. So at this point we just data dot map. Yeah.
Yep. That looks good. But you need to query brackets. Yeah.
Are we done? we haven't been checking in the browser really at all. But I think if we test that don't look right.
We added
it's now you're right. It's not in our app.ts.
Yeah.
To do, what did we call it? To do list.
Yep.
There it is. There you go. There it is. It's not looking great, but
it works. Also, the reason for multiple get all to dos now, because by default when React query detects unfocus and focus on the browser, it would refetch.
Really?
Yeah.
Neat. How do we stop that? That's neat, but I don't want that right now.
The way we stop that is on the use query call.
Okay, so that was in our list and up here. So this is like an option. Yeah.
Or the thing is, the first parameter will always be the input type of a query orientation, but because we don't have any inputs, we need to then do undefined.
Got it. And now we can put our options.
Yeah, and then there is one called refetch on unmount, I think, or refetch on remount, refetch on undefault. That one.
Refetch.
Yeah.
Window focus.
Yeah, to folds. And then now, if you refresh that, and then go back to VS Code and come back, you see it then the refetch.
Yeah. So true. Come here. Yeah. Every time we come back.
Yeah.
I had no idea about this. Well, hey, we did it. I think this qualifies.
I am also thinking about making my own, I guess, NX type of boilerplate.
Yeah.
Would include stuff like tRPC, Next.js, Storybook, and the stuff that I really, I guess, like to use in almost all projects.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm love doing that.
Yeah, so we already have the NX presets.
Yeah, and we also might do the tRPC NX plugin. So,
Yeah, I'm talking to Jack about this later today, so we'll see what happens there. But that would be awesome to get to a point where we have some official support for this too. So
yeah, definitely.
yeah, but yeah, Ahmed, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, everyone.
Catch y'all next time.
All right.